Welcome back, Half-Bloods, to another episode of the Half-Blood Pod. We're your hosts, Scott and William. William, I have a little bit of Witch Weekly news, and
spray it.
We've spoken a little bit about the HBO show, which we pretend is why we started this podcast, but really it's so that we can look at each other's eyes once a week. Also,
deal.
Actually, I have to take that back. I've been accused of like being secretly in love with you, so I guess I want to say like you look ugly.
It's not a secret.
Well, no, that's what I said.
I'm in love with you. It's not a secret.
Okay, that's fine then. I don't know. I was just getting some remarks, and I said, I don't know. I guess I could be. I'm already so mean to him. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, yeah, I usually start the episode with "You're looking nice today." I don't know why that's. Anyways,
that's how we talk to each other.
I appreciate beauty, regardless of gender.
The Todd appreciates hot, regardless of gender.
What are you? I'm the Todd. And today we're going to break down the new seasons of Scrubs. No, we're not going to break down Scrubs, but I have enjoyed it.
I have too, even if I was bummed out that they're immediately divorced. I hate that trope. Anyway, go on.
At least Harry and Ginny didn't get divorced and cursed child.
We have more to talk about. I'll get to it.
Positives. Anyways, speaking of positives, we spoke previously just briefly about Netflix winning the deal to take over Warner Brothers, and now it's Paramount. And I just wanted to go with a quick glass half full of, we were excited for Netflix because we figured they would kind of push everything and produce a ton of Harry Potter.
Maximum distribution, like the most.
Yes.
The platform of platforms is Netflix.
Exactly. Now my glass half full is Paramount's going to allow HBO to just stay HBO and to stay only 10 out of 10 quality content. And we're only going to get the best of the best Harry Potter content. And that's my glass half full. Do we buy that?
I mean, I do. I buy it because at the end of the day, like Harry Potter is one of those things like indelible, undying things like Star Wars or whatever, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, like it's going to exist for forever, right? In one form or another. And like there might be ups and downs. And from our opinion, there's only been downs as far as visual medium. So there's only where to go is up. But the point is that like if they make a good show, it's going to do huge numbers. Mm-hmm. And people are going to watch it. So I personally would have liked it to be on Netflix because more people have Netflix. But if they make a good show, it's going to be a big deal and people are going to watch it, right? It's not like Game of Thrones was a big deal. The new shows, Dragon, House of the Dragon, and
right,
whatever else, those are all a big deal, right?
Night of the Seventh Kingdom.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms, right? Those are all a huge deal, and they're on HBO. Like HBO has like a rep to maintain.
Exactly.
And yeah, at the end of the day, like I don't think the show is going to change, at least in the first season, whether whoever owned it, right?
Agreed.
Whether it's Warner Discovery, Paramount, Netflix, whatever. If they make a good show, no, they don't care. They're going to pump money into it. And I was just talking today. I was like, a year from now, the show is basically going to be out, right? Like ish. That's what the thought of is that like a year from now is like it'll be airing. Like, I hope they have merch ready. I hope they've got, don't be like K-pop Demon Hunters. Well, that is not really fair because they did not know that was going to be a mega hit. So that's why they did not have merch, right? But
I don't know. Disney's bungled it before where we didn't have little baby Yodas out, ready to go. Like big names have blown this before,
I don't know.
I feel like
idiots.
Exactly. And my other glass half full is that Paramount's taking on so much debt that they're going to sell everything off for pennies in 4 years, and Netflix is still going to get it. And so we're going to get
exactly what's going to
years.
happen because just look at everyone who's owned this asset has just they just keep passing it around.
Well, let's see everybody's version of Harry Potter.
Time Warner, AT&T, Warner Discovery, now Paramount, and like you said, the amount of debt they have is absurd.
Yes, it is. Hopefully one day you and I could be $87 billion in debt building our empire. Pretty exciting.
Even Larry Ellison, like that's like 80% of his net worth. Like he's worth like 120 or something like that billion. And it's not like that's liquid. So
Insane.
And not to mention, Oracle, I think, is also in debt anyway for AI stuff.
True.
Because they don't, unlike Google and Amazon, they're not using like free cash flow the same way to fund all their AI stuff.
Well said. You should start a podcast on economics and business, and I would listen.
Or I can just regurgitate stuff that I listen to. Who's that?
Isn't that what we're all doing?
Yeah. There's one person who had an original thought, and the rest of us are just copying.
Exactly. Speaking of unoriginal thoughts, William, are you ready to break down The Cursed Child, which
yes,
I've been waiting for 17 episodes and really 11 years. When did this come out? I forget when they wrote this. 2015, 2014, 2016.
I think like 2016 is when it came out. 2016 is when it came out.
2016.
Yeah. I was
William,
reading through it. So
you and I have not seen the play. We plan to see the play. My goal is still to take you to London, and on the horses of the much needed book only ultimate unofficial Harry Potter trivia, which you can listen.
We move units in this house. We move. Not me, my wife.
Facebook shout out to Brianna. Yes, she is going to take us to London single-handedly. But this podcast will be ad-free because my trivia game is book only, and this has nothing to do with the books. So we're diving into unknown territory. William, I'm gonna start in with an overview, and then after that, I'm gonna force you to say 3 things that you liked about.
Oh, I'm locked and loaded. I'm locked and loaded.
Okay. Just as a quick overview, spoilers if you haven't seen the play and you want to be spoiled, then I would stop listening.
I haven't seen the play. I've read it,
True,
but I haven't seen it.
Same. So I'm going to give you a brief overview so that we're all on the same page. This is a story that takes place 19 years after the 7th book happens. It kicks off at the epilogue of the 7th book, and the story revolves around Harry and Draco's children, Albus, Severus, and Scorpius. And both of these sons cannot live up to their father's greatness, and they both feel very alone. And they are tricked by Voldemort's daughter, who's disguising as Delphi Diggory, to skip school, find Amos Diggory, steal a time turner, go back in time, save Cedric Diggory in multiple attempts. They screw up multiple timelines, and then ultimately get stuck in 1981 and are able to bring Harry and Hermione and Draco and Ginny and Ron to the past and basically stop the spawn of Voldemort from breaking the original prophecy where Voldemort kills Harry's parents, and then they all live happily ever after. That is a very high-level summary of what I hear is a wonderful play. As a script, as a screenplay, as a story, I think we have mixed feelings. William, can you say just 3 nice things, and then you don't have to say anything nice the rest of the podcast?
First of all, nice thing number 1, I want to see the play. I am certain that it is an incredible production, and well worth seeing. That's number 1. So I very much don't I would never be like, I don't want to see the play. I want to see the play. Of course I want to see the play. It's coming to Houston this summer, thinking about maybe going, right? Somehow. It's a question of whether to take kids or go alone or whatever, right?
Or take me.
Or take Scott. Yeah, you want to come hang out in Houston in the summer, and
wouldn't be the first time I wasn't really aiming for Houston, but still spent time, just wanted to be with you. So, went to Houston with you.
Yeah, we dropped a hobby. We dropped off Trevor.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, Houston. Some of the best food in the world is in Houston, because Houston is basically like Louisiana mixed with Texas. So it's great. And my family's from there. So what am I I'm not gonna talk about Houston. I like Houston. But it's a giant mega city. The point is that I want to go see the play. That's the first nice thing about it. I want to see the play. I want to see it. I think it's good that they made it, and I hear they put an incredible amount of production value and the cool things that they do. Other nice things. I think like inside of this story are some really good ideas and bones of things. Like, it is interesting to the idea of like, I would like to know and check on the characters in the future, right?
Right.
I do want to know what they're doing. There's some objectively funny things in this play.
Agreed.
You know, funny lines, Ron coming in and like eating in the kitchen before like, you know, doing stuff. Like there's just some objectively funny things.
Agreed. We'll hit some more of
And
those.
yeah, I'm pretty scatterbrained right now until we get farther in. Have I said 3 nice things? 2.5?
You said 2, and you spent most of the time talking about Houston. So one more.
Yeah.
I know you can do it.
What other nice thing? Let me look through my notes here.
You can stop at 2, and I'll force you by the end of this to hit a 3rd. All right. You can stop at 2. By the end of the podcast, I bet you'll come up with a 3rd.
I will have more nice things to say. I just there was like, man, I have a lot of stuff that I generated here.
You're good. I'm gonna ask you another question.
Yeah, ask me another question. I'm sure I don't want another specific nice thing. There's good stuff in this play. It's not all bad.
I've got several questions. I don't plan to go through this in true order in terms of like the story, but I've got a lot of things I want to call out. And
are you following your notes? The one that you sent me earlier?
I'm following
today?
my notes. Yeah, I'm going to follow.
Okay, good.
Those.
I'm going to make sure I have those pulled up just to make sure.
You take me off those whenever. My next question to you is, what do you have a bigger issue with? 1, time travel. 2, Voldemort being capable of reproducing / having any desire to. 3, the trolley witch being part demon with exploding pumpkin paste pasties. Or, I'll just stop there. Or am I missing, 1 in the top 3?
So, objectively speaking, the trolley witch is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like of those options, that is like insane.
And she's like 400 years old, and
she's like some kind of like guardian of the Hogwarts Express. Like, nobody's asked me my name. Like,
I forgot it.
I've forgotten it.
She's like Smeagol. She's Gollum.
Yeah. I don't like, you're reading that. It serves no purpose.
It's
has
horrifying.
No reason. And she's like, these also double as grenades. Anything doubles as a grenade. You're a witch. You can turn anything into explosives. Confringo, boom. Anything can go boom.
It did make me ponder, though.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever read. It's so bad, isn't it, though? It's bad.
It made me ponder, though. She said she stopped Sirius and his little gang, and she stopped the twins from getting off. I would like to know, like...
And these 2 little wimp losers are going to get past her, and those other ones didn't? Get out of here.
She's getting really old.
Pathetic.
She's basically, like... short-circuiting, like she can barely function. She doesn't know her own name, but
she's like some kind of mythical creature that's like guarding the Hogwarts Express, but like she's just a witch selling snacks to kids. Like, why is she turning into some like the Green Goblin?
It was bizarre.
It's so bizarre. It is out of left field and makes no sense.
How did the Marauders not get off the train, though? Like, sure,
if they wanted to, they would have gotten off the train. Also, like, what was she doing to stop them? Like, sorry, dears, you can't get off. Or did she turn into a demon and chuck grenades at them? Like, they probably would have told everyone, y'all, yo, you know the nice lady that sells us pumpkin pasties and Birdie Bots? Turns out she's insane and tried to kill us.
She probably put a memory charm on them. Nobody remembers. She just dominated all of them.
No, this is it. I objectively speaking, it's just like bizarre. I think bizarre is the best way to do it. It makes no sense. It like what are they even doing? Like, why? There's no rhyme, reason, or anything, and it's kind of dumb. Like, it's just like adding something for the sake of adding something. It's like, hey, what if that witch you all know turns out she's a psycho and like a demon? Like, why? Nothing makes sense. It was just objectively stupid. So of the 3 you presented me with, that one is like objectively the dumbest one because it serves no purpose, right?
Right.
And what were the other 2? Voldemort Do you want me to tackle any of that now, or we want to
I
talk
mean,
that
yeah,
out?
I think we should. I think we should hit it now. Voldemort having the ability slash desire to pr-
No, no,
reproduce,
no, no.
which is more unlikely, that he has the ability or the desire.
I think he's beyond usual evil and has basically castrated himself. That is
Right.
magically turned himself into something so unhuman that he literally cannot produce
He
offspring. Like,
lost.
he is no longer biologically, physically capable because he is
He
so.
lost. He lost his nose, and he also lost something else.
Yeah, maybe, right? Like, he's beyond. He's twisted himself into something that's so unhuman that, like, the whole, like, most beautiful part of life is like creating more life. Like, he doesn't have
Right.
access to that power.
I like
And
that.
I don't even like literally mean it in like. And, like, in the flip side of that is that, like, he is so beyond evil and, like, asexual, like, he has no desire or love for other people. I don't even think he's capable, like, I d there's nothing about the character that makes you think, like, he has physical desires either. You know what I
No,
mean? What he's beyond all of
I
this.
I
Like, he
feel like
doesn't
this is a
have
3-pointer.
needs. Like, he's
Yeah.
yeah,
He
like,
has no needs. He's beyond usual evil. And the third would be that he has no desire to have offspring. He is his own offspring. I want to live forever.
he exactly. He is
His
so
legacy is not
selfish.
through
Yeah. He
yes.
probably yeah, no, he would have lived and could have seen Star Wars and been like, "Hey, these Sith have it all wrong. Stop training your replacement. They just kill you. Instead, live forever." The Sith have got it
Exactly.
all wrong. He could have
Yeah.
known.
Yeah.
Um, but, like, the only one that you can, like, somehow twist yourself into, like, thinking is, like, he wants to continue the line of Salazar Slytherin. But, like, I don't even think he would.
No.
Like, I think he's so selfish that he wouldn't want to,
Yeah.
you
He
know?
created a memory of himself so that he himself could reopen the chamber. Like
Yeah.
he I'm the last person who's gonna open the chamber. That's all I need
He
is me.
has, like, no need for any kind of physical intimacy. Like, he's not a being that has any kind of normal needs or, like, wants. A need, want. He has no want. He has no desire. His desire is to purely do evil and to, like, kill people and enslave the world and take over and all that stuff. So I
Is
think it just, like, in that sense, like, Voldemort having a child, especially with Bellatrix, and, like, do you read it as they're, like, saying it was like a love child of some kind? Like, it was like, or do you read it as
I
them
mean
saying that, like, he just wanted to continue the line as a fail-safe,
I
which is a
mean,
stupid idea, but
to answer that, do you think that Bellatrix, just to keep this PG, stole from him and, basically forced the baby? He had
yeah,
no desire.
I
I don't
I
know.
would I would assume that like, somehow this was basically like IVF, but with magic, you know? Like,
Exactly.
some kinda,
Sperm
like,
jacked him.
yeah, it's like some kinda physical wave your wand and something happened because, again,
Exactly.
Voldemort is incapable of humanly, of being a human, and, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's really dumb, but, like, in you and I are on the same page about this, but, like, in our own life and, like, philosophy, like, the ability to have children and, like, create life is, like, sacred, right? And I think that's pretty
Mhm,
standard
mhm.
across a lot of cultures and religions and things like that. That's not like no one belief system has a monopoly on that. So, like,
Right.
I just think in this, like, magical, mystical world where Dumbledore says stuff like music is a magic beyond all we do here, like, love is transcending time and magic, it's the most powerful magic. Like, creating human life, and I know that, like, evil people can do it, and, like, create life and, like, be bad and like, do that. But, like, Voldemort is so beyond usual evil and what he's
Yep.
twisted and done to himself that there's just it'd be like someone who's, like, I don't know, like, taken every steroid or, like, some crazy drug and altered their body, and then they're like, "Yeah, by the way, when you took all those steroids or whatever else, it messed with a bunch of other stuff, and, like, you're sterile now," or something, I don't know. It doesn't make any
Unforeseen
sense.
consequences.
right?
Agreed.
And again, I don't think he wants to. So as an idea, I think this is profoundly stupid and not worth exploring as an idea in this narrative.
All right. It has been laid down. I know you've been laying on that for 10 years.
Dumb. It reminds me of, it's exactly like, although this predates it, but it's exactly like The Rise of Skywalker, which I hate. Somehow Palpatine returned. Like, that's it. That's what you get. Like, he never disappeared. He's always been around. Like, it's just like, come on, can we move past this? Like, Voldemort was defeated. Like, this whole thing, like, oh, another nice thing. It brings me to it. I really, really like the idea of, like, Voldemort is dead. His ideas are not dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and there's, like, the people in the world who were, like, the rumors about, like, Draco, and, like, that was Draco's son being, like, the offspring of Voldemort. Like, that's an interesting idea because, like, Voldemort is dead. He's gone. He's not coming back. Time travel is breathtakingly stupid and a terrible idea for this story. But his ideas are not dead. He was defeated. His ideas are not dead. Evil, like Dumbledore says, cannot ever truly be eradicated or defeated. It can only be, like, held at bay, right? Like, they got rid of the ministry. The world didn't turn into, like, a perfect place all of a sudden. His ideas were still very strong in some pockets. That is fascinating to explore. What's not
I love
is his secret love child daughter. Hate child.
I love
whatever. It's
I love
stupid. Talk.
I love everything you said. We'll come back to time travel.
Yeah.
Voldemort is dead. You declared that. I obviously agree. Time travel is stupid. But when Harry's scar starts hurting and he starts having dreams again, and his inner circle, and then Hermione expands that inner circle, is so horrified that some remnant, and they're not thinking child at this point. They're just like some portion of Voldemort lived on, which, how could that not be a fear of this creature who split his soul 7 ways? Like, to me, that was super interesting of just, how could you ever be fully confident that Voldemort is gone? I saw his body.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. Like I said, that's, like, basically, like, his ideas have lived on. So, like, he was so powerful and scary and terrifying and caused so much pain. They're all emotionally traumatized. So you don't just be, like, never scared again, right? I like that. I understand I do like that. That's great. But like I said, I think it's stupid to, like, actually, like, go as far as to bring him back. You're like, no, like, how about we explore other ideas instead of the same guy? But, like, his idea, that's what's so powerful about him. Like, his ideas did live on. And that is a really cool thing. I do like that stuff that you mentioned.
And I do think it's beyond, again, he went past usual evil, and, like, it's not insane to think some tiny piece of Voldemort is still around and someone found a way to bring him back. But do you give the play credit for not actually ever giving us just real Voldemort on screen? Like, Voldemort actually never comes back. He comes back in the background when we go to Voldemort's world, but he's never actually there on screen. And do you give them a little bit of credit for that? Like, it is the idea of Voldemort.
Down, it is, but, like, I think just deep down they knew that they're doing something stupid. So, like, they're like, if we put him on here, people are gonna not like it. So I mean, like, like, I guess it, like, it makes him scarier that he's not seen, right?
Right.
Because, like, I think it would just, the reason they did that is because basically this is why I hated The Rise of Skywalker. Like, you can't spend all this time getting rid of the bad guy and then just bring him back. It's dumb. Find something new. Create a new bad guy. Like, or like, you know, and so that, but, like, I guess I'll give him credit. Like, okay, they didn't just roll him out there and be like, hey, he is back. We're going to have a duel again. You know, that kind of thing. Like,
right.
That would have, like, made it even worse. And again, like, I think this, like, I love the idea that they made a play and everything about it sounds awesome, that what they do to, like, put this together and present it to people. I just think the narrative is, like, stupid, trite, and I don't know. I don't like it.
I'm sorry to have pained you to have to go through this. Now we need to talk
about this. I love talking about this. This is very fun.
Now we need to talk about time travel.
Yeah.
When we learn about time travel in the 7 books, we only have time turners that can go back a few hours. I
Hour
think
at a
it's
time.
undefined.
Yeah.
It's an hour at a time. I think it's undefined. I feel
Yeah.
like in Cursed Child, I feel like they try to define it and say, like, Croker's Law says you can only go back 5 hours, and I feel like
Mhm.
that's probably what Hermione's time turner had the capability of doing. Like, 5 hours was the max,
Or
which
like it's like, yeah, like they're like, if you do any more than that, it's really going to screw things up, you know?
yeah, which is whatever. And I think that hers was maxed at that, and that's why, like, someone was like, she slept someone the other day was like, "She slept through her class, like, why didn't she just, then do the time turner then?" And I was like, "I think 5 hours had passed and she couldn't do it, like, it was impossible."
Right.
Based on her time turner / she was warned not to, either way. Um, but when we learn about time travel, there are no multiple timelines. This isn't Marvel, where there's infinite possibilities of possible timelines.
Mhm.
And Harry, when we learn about time travel in Prisoner of Azkaban, there's only one. Harry didn't live through Buckbeak dying, didn't live through Sirius getting uh,
Yeah. There's
his
one
soul taken
sacred
out.
timeline.
There's one sacred timeline. Harry did not live 2 timelines and then go back and change a timeline.
Mhm.
It all happened one way. And obviously, the cursed child completely erases that notion, which is what I hate most about this. And or can I explain it as like, well, they broke Croker's law, therefore they allowed for multiple timelines? I don't believe that, but is that like if someone was on here trying to defend that the time travel magic in Prisoner of Azkaban is the same time travel magic as Cursed Child, is that the defense? Because to me, there's no defense. They're two completely different ways to describe time travel.
Yeah,
And
it's like a it's like different. Like I don't think Hermione's time turner was like capable of anything like this. This is like more advanced somehow or something. Like they've developed
yes, this
new
time turner can go
technology.
back and can go back way further, but it sends you back. But I'm just saying, like, the magic, like
Yeah, it
the
does
what
work
time travel
differently.
does, like,
Yeah.
it's completely different. And you have to this is House of R. Shout out to Joe and
Mal and
Mal.
Joe. Yeah.
Like, you have to set rules for your world and then you have to live by them. And to me, they completely changed the rules of this world by
I
allowing for
agree.
multiple timelines. It's just they blew up how time travel works, which I thought was one of the fun
Yeah.
things about Harry Potter. A new way of time travel. To me, I don't know any other stories that do time travel the way that Prisoner of Azkaban did.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, like, and time travel is the thing, it's such a well-worn
Right.
trope, right? And like it's very famous, at least in my head, because I've read it a bunch, but like she talked about why she was like very hesitant to do the time travel in Prisoner of
Right.
Azkaban. Because obviously in fantasy or science fiction or whatever, once you introduce time travel, there's a million different variables, right? Of like, it messes with your narrative, right? So she was like made it
Right.
very limited and thing. And like you said, I'm not fully aware of one that worked quite like that. Like, so it was very limited and different in how it worked. And then she smashed them all in the ministry to like put a put a stop to it. Right.
And because Croker
And
was dead, I guess no one could reinvent them.
I guess, right? Um, but like that's the thing is that like time travel is so well worn. I just feel like time travel doesn't, at least as it was implemented in The Cursed Child, doesn't fit the magical world that we know at all. Like you said, it's different. They've gone off the path completely. It doesn't like the magical world, obviously, like it has rules and like guardrails and things like that we're aware of. And like this basically just kicks that door down and be like, there are no rules. This is insane.
Yeah.
Um, do whatever you want. And I think that works for some things like Doctor Who. Doctor Who is insane. I'm sure people have watched it. All 3 listeners, my sister, she's definitely watched it. Um, and like Doctor Who, the whole point is it's nuts. They're going to do a million different things. Time travel is timey-wimey stuff. That's a phrase they use, right? It's just a bunch of stuff. And it's wild. And like, I think, and I'll even give more like leeway to something like Avengers, where
Right.
like they do time travel, but also like it's a different kind of story. It's a comic book. Things are a little more wild and loose as far as the like it fits into that narrative better. Um
Right.
and then like the way they implement it here is it takes something that was like pretty well like defined and guarded and just explodes it all And for what? For a story about how Harry's a bad dad and neglects his child? Like, I don't understand, like, narratively, like, what they're trying to accomplish. Like, I don't find it very compelling. Um, like I said, as a device, time travel is obviously well worn, but I don't think it's well implemented here. And I think it just kind of muddies things up and makes it less fun, um, as far as that goes.
So, in summary, we believe that the cursed child is just Jack Thorne and whatever that other guy's name is, fan fiction and nothing more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's just like this guy's his fan fiction, you know,
And he got to make a play out of it and put
and he got,
J.K.
I don't
Rowling's
know.
name last on as an author.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand. Like, I don't know what to believe. Like if I'm being honest with myself, like my best guess of completely uneducated is that, like, yeah, she made a bunch of money from this. So she's like, yeah, fine, do it. Like, keep the train rolling, sell this. That's what I would
Right.
too. I'm not saying I wouldn't, you know.
And
but like,
and to put it into a new medium, like to see it
but
on
yeah, for
Broadway
sure.
is cool.
Yeah, to put it in the West End and Broadway and travel it around and all that stuff is fantastic, and it should be done. Um, you know, but I think there, like I said, I think there are really good ideas here. Like, how does Voldemort's ideology live on? How does that affect the future? Like, what is it like to be Harry Potter's kid? He's the most famous person in their world. Their world's already small. Everyone already knows each other, and everyone already even knows you more when, you know, there's
Everyone's staring at us.
right. If you're, I don't know what's the population of witches and wizards in England, right? In Great Britain and Ireland. Not that huge. And like they all know who Harry Potter is. Everyone in Europe and the world knows who he is. And like that's an interesting thing to learn about your kid and all that stuff. Um, but poorly done. It was just the time travel thing's just stupid. They didn't
It is.
it has no spot. I would love to hear someone like because this to me this isn't like this is different than like what I think about the movies because like the movies I don't like because of a bunch of different reasons. They change things, how they're poorly done, blah 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 blah. This one like it's an original story, right? I just think this story is not well done. It's bad.
I will call out some things that I like in this story, but yes, overall,
Yeah,
it is bad.
like I said,
But
there's ideas that I hear I like.
I
But
feel like some of the emotions that it made me feel, I enjoyed. And
Mhm.
I'll talk about some of those.
I love the characters so much that like there's no way I don't enjoy some of it. I love
Right.
the characters
So
so much.
So let's talk about the characters. You brought up Harry being a bad dad. My question for you here is what was worse of Harry to say slash do when he told Albus that sometimes he wishes he wasn't his son, or two, when he finally, after saying Draco, I'm not going to tell the world that your son is not Voldemort's because it'll just blow over. And then finally he accuses him and says, Draco, are you sure it's not Voldemort's? Which was worse of him to do?
Telling your son you wishes you weren't your kid. Like, that's insane. This is another thing of, like I keep bringing it back to Star Wars, but, like, people were so mad that, like, Luke Skywalker was, like, an angry old hermit, right? And, like and then just basically turned into a jerk. Like, that's, like, what they did to Harry. It makes no sense that he would like, even if you want to explore the fact that, like, he's a middle-aged man going through, raising the everyday struggles of, like, raising a family and, like, how your kid's famous. That's beyond usual, eh, parents getting mad. Look, I got
Bad
4 kids.
parenting.
That's called an intrusive thought. Like, we've all thought, everyone joke like, there are things you think and things that you do and say, and you can get mad. I've gotten mad at my kids. Like, that's insane to
William, which
say
child
that.
do you love most?
I love
Which
them
of
all
your
the
children?
same. They annoy
Nope,
me
say it.
differently on different days.
Say it, William.
I love them all the same. 2 of them are literally the same. They're clones, unnatural little beasts.
Not the same. That's the problem, William. They're not the same.
But anyway, I think that one's by far the worst because it's his son. And it honestly, I mean, I don't think it makes sense that like like a father can definitely say something hurtful to their kid, right? Like off the top of my head, I'm sure I've hurt my kid's feelings. I can't think of anything specific. I've certainly never said anything that bad. Like, can you imagine like telling one of your daughters like, "Ugh, I wish you weren't my daughter."
I cannot, but I don't know if they were screaming at me, "I wish you weren't my dad." Like I could, you know,
That's not what was happening in the play.
That is what was happening. He said it to him first.
It's not that bad though. Like that's the point. It's like he's a child. He's a child. They're emotional. They say insane
very
things.
Annoying child.
He's a very annoying child. He's a horrible character. He sucks so bad. That was mean.
Tell us how you really feel. At least if we're not making fun of an actor, this is just a character. So this is fine.
It's a made up character who's just a complete weenie and terrible and not good at anything.
He hits Alohomora at the end. He hits Expelliarmus a couple times.
Amazing.
He's small enough. He's scrawny. He can fit through the little ventilation system or whatever.
Like Bean.
Exactly.
Under Shadow. But yeah, I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I'll put it this way, and I've been rambling too much. Why is Harry Potter so special? Like, what makes Harry?
That even though he was abused and tortured and had every reason to not love, he's still full of love.
He was still a good, basic person, right? And I understand that as you age and like life goes on and get jaded, like you're not the same as you were when you're 17, 18, 16 years old, whatever. But like, I think it makes no sense that Harry would tell his kid, like, I wish you weren't my kid. That's beyond, like, it's stupid. It's too extreme.
Okay.
There can definitely be reasons like they don't get along. That's normal. Like, that's pretty insane. And the other one you mentioned about asking Draco that, screw Draco. Draco should be locked up. Okay. I'm long into this, not still locked up, but I don't care if he says something mean to Draco. Draco in that meeting is like yelling at him about like you just want to be famous again and all that stuff. Are you kidding me? Draco is going to bring this up. You just want to be famous again. You who plotted to kill a bunch of people and joined Voldemort's team. And like, are you kidding me? You're lucky you're not in prison for life, dude. Insane. Out of pocket.
Two things.
To talk to Harry.
Two things here. One, when he's getting mad at Harry, he's already asked Harry like 5 times, "Hey, can you please help me with this small problem that I have where the entire world thinks that my son is the spawn of Voldemort?" He's asked him a couple times. And then it
makes no sense why Harry would not, by the way.
Because Harry actually thought that he was, which all comes to a head when he turns around and accuses Draco and says, "Are you sure it's not Voldemort's?" And at that point, I think Malfoy should have killed Harry. I think it should have just gone straight to death. And I don't know how Malfoy moved past that, honestly. So I think Malfoy...
I don't know. The only thing I can say is that, like, they have a long history. And, like, I don't... Like, think about what Draco's tried to do to him in his life.
I know.
Draco tried to cruciate him. He plotted to bring about his death. He was accessory to murders and thieving and like the bringing back of Voldemort, the taking over of Hogwarts. Like, it makes like it's insane that it's really mean that he said it, but like it is Draco, and like maybe he like should have forgiven Draco a long time, but like it's not insane for him to be a huge jerk to Draco.
I feel like he did forgive him when they didn't kick him out of Hogwarts when they were sitting at their own little table, and Harry was like, "Draco's not all bad. He's obsessed with the dark arts, but not that bad." He did forgive him.
I know, but like, how I feel about that. I feel like Draco definitely should have served time. Like, I don't like,
and Lucius life in prison. Draco
Lucius should have been life in prison for sure. Like, without possibility of parole. I think it's insane.
Death penalty.
Why not? I'm not kidding. Like, what? He's a Nazi war criminal. Like, what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, he was like basically a guard at Auschwitz. Like, are we kidding me? Like, dude, Like, get out of here. I don't care what Lucius has to say. Um, but, you know, Draco is a victim, but he also made his own choices. He was of age and he chose to do insanely horrible things and take part in it. So, yes, you were brought up in that, but at some point you knew what's right and wrong and you still chose wrong. And Harry saying something completely wrong and out of pocket and horribly insensitive to Draco isn't insane. Contextually, it doesn't really make sense. I don't understand, like, why would he think that, like, Scorpius might be like, why is he so against being Scorpius's friend, Albus being Scorpius's friend? Like, giving McGonagall the map to stalk them. This is just, like, complete
True.
character assassination of Harry Potter.
I should have added a third of when he's like, Minerva, you've never had kids, you don't understand.
Oh
And
my
she's
gosh,
like,
that was insane.
sorry,
That
that's
was
the top 3.
insane. That was so bad. I hate what we're doing. This is complete character assassination. Again, like, someone can have a midlife crisis and, like, have a problem with their family and, like, whatever, but, like, what are we doing? Why would he say that?
The last time we saw Harry and McGonagall together, he was coming out of hiding, ripping his invisibility cloak off, saying, "You shouldn't have said that," after she gets spat on. And McGonagall, like, being, like, just filled with disappointment. She was like, "If Harry Potter was here, he would come to my common room, not the Ravenclaw common room." Like, they both love each other, in, teacher student kind of ways.
Yeah,
And
and again,
it was
like,
very sad.
that's an insane thing to say to her. And this is someone who, like, at this point, like, they've been through everything together, like, and he's obviously stayed in contact with her, like, they know each other well. You know
Yep.
what I mean? To throw
Yep.
that in her face is, like, insane. Like, as someone who's, like, watched over the school and, like, taken care of thousands of children and spent her life around children, like, it's just an insanely mean thing. And, like, I don't really understand the point of this is, like, guess what? Harry's not perfect. Like, yeah, but, like, what are we doing here? Like,
He
this
was
is,
never
like,
perfect.
he was
That's the
never
whole point.
perfect.
He was an average
Yeah.
boy.
He was, and, like, I get it. Like, he can be mean. He can be, like, I just don't understand, like, what they're trying to say here, like, about this character. Like, it really makes me really, really upset. Like, I don't like, again, the ideas of, like, people who support Voldemort's ideas still being around and, like, how are they combating that? That is a fascinating story to tell.
Right.
Um, but, like, this messy thing of, like, basically turning him into just a terrible father who has no idea how to talk to his kids is wild. It's wild.
Okay. You win on all accounts. Character assassination. I love that phrase. And Harry is
It
a
is.
victim of it. We
Again,
got to
that
spend
said,
some
I
time.
would love to go see the play. I would probably enjoy my time during the play because
you will.
I would not like the story, but I would like the play. I guarantee you
One
I'll
day.
like it,
One day.
even if I think
we'll
the
hold
story is
hands.
stupid.
One
in
day we'll hold
London.
hands and watch it. We get to spend time with some other characters. Here are the careers that each of our characters have landed on. Hermione is Minister for Magic. Harry is the
Makes
head
sense.
of magical law enforcement. Ron is an aura for a couple years and then runs the joke shop with George. Neville is a herbology teacher, though we never actually see him. McGonagall, of course, headmaster of Hogwarts, still 19 years later. Malfoy is as useless as his father and apparently doesn't work.
Just
And
professionally rich.
exactly, good for him. Although I guess using a lot of his funds to help his dead wife. And Ginny, a retired Quidditch player who now edits for the Daily Prophet. Do you
Sports
feel
section.
Sports section only? Okay, doesn't your wife edit that paper? The sports section, you moron. Anyways,
I enjoyed that.
did anybody land in the wrong place? Do we feel good about where everybody landed? How do we feel about it?
I feel fine about it. I guess it's such a small world that, like, it's weird that, like, how horrible the government was and, like, they all work for it. But it all makes sense. Like, yeah, Harry would do that, I guess. Like, well, Like, what else is he gonna do?
That's how he spends his time anyways.
Like, what else is he gonna do? He's got a lot to bring to the table there. Hermione, it makes sense. Like, she's the most intelligent person. She's very driven and has a lot of ideas and like all that stuff. Like, yes, that makes sense. The Ron one makes sense too. Like, he doesn't need to be career driven. His wife is president of wizards and witches, the minister. So makes sense. And then helping George out with, I like to think Weasley Wizard Wheezes is kind of like how Amazon started out as a bookstore and now it's the everything store. That's what Weasley's is. Weasley's is like, they started out selling joke stuff. And then like, it kind of talked about it, how like they were selling like, the hats and stuff, to defense. Like they definitely like run retail in the wizard world.
I mean, we don't get to see George, and I think I'm kind of happy about that because what is George without Fred? But like, how unhappy is George to be running the store with Ron and not Fred?
They get over it. They still have like
they're like so mean to Ron. Like they don't care about Ron at all.
Okay, but like they're older brothers. Like
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of a good example because I don't have a twin brother that I love more than the rest of my brothers. But yeah, can I just say that? It's like,
I'll keep an eye on my twins and see how they develop.
I'm going to see if Eric's listening and I get a text. Like if me and Kevin were running a store together and Kevin died and I had to run with Eric, my life would suck so much. So, that's where I'm at. I'll just see if Eric's listening to this. I don't think he is, but maybe Ashley will
Probably
tell him.
not.
I don't think so. Okay. We talked about Hermione, and you brought up a good point. The government used to suck so much, and then they all joined the government. But they are such a different government than what the government we know with Fudge. And like the greatest example to me is Hermione. Like there's some warning signs. Harry's scar hurts. And what does she do? She calls together everyone who wants to come to an emergency meeting and said, hey guys, Harry's scar is hurting and there's some things happening. Let's all talk about it as a team, which is just mind blowing to me that like,
she's like, I'm not going to be like Fudge. I'm not going to be remembered like Fudge.
Yeah, she's going so hard in the other direction.
Like
to me,
just
part.
Like I like that.
Harry's scar hurting is like, again, Harry's scar hurting is like a secret, and like they write newspaper articles about how he's a psycho, and now it's just like, no, everyone believes in Harry. Like we're not hiding. Like this is happening. The whole world just knows when Harry's scar hurts now, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, and it's also like it just shows like, I like that part of like her bringing everyone together. I like at least that's like interesting. Like she's competent at her job, everything like that, and like the deep emotional scarring. This is one of the things I do like, the deep emotional scarring that like, it's like two things can be true. Like Voldemort is dead. They know he's dead. They know it, but how horrible it was. There's always a seed of a doubt. You know what I mean? Like what's happening?
Yes.
What's happening? On top of like, remember he's talking about there's been troll movements and giants and stuff. Like he's talking about like they have to be. So like, even though like if you ask them like, bet your life savings, like is he dead or is he alive? They would probably be like, I bet he's dead, but like I'm not sure, right? Because that's how deep like and pernicious his ideas and his evil was, magic. That he scarred everyone for life.
Yes.
Like there's no way they can ever feel like 100% safe.
Agreed.
Because he was that horrifying. Evil and that powerful. And again, his ideas live on, which is something they should have explored more than convoluted timey-wimey crap to have a daughter and bring him back and blah, 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 blah.
So we agree. We don't like time travel. But now let's go to the worlds that they take us to. So they take us to two different worlds. One where they only make a small change. And the biggest change is that Ron and Hermione don't get married. And Ron gets married to Padma. And he's basically a little fatter and a little sadder and a little balder and a little more whipped.
Has different kid names. What was it, Panju or something like other names?
He's living a different culture for sure. And Hermione is a classic J.K. Rowling character who's just a woman who's too angry because she's not getting what she needs. I enjoyed that. I feel like
I do.
Again, go.
I like the thought exercises like of like parallel universes, right? I do.
Yes.
It's fun to like a what if, right? Which is
Yes.
like I like that Marvel show, What If, the cartoon.
Exactly.
Like it's fun. I like that. Like in its own bubble, I like to
Yes.
say like a what if explore. Like building the whole narrative around it. And like I think that in it's stupid. But like I do like that, like this small like version of like, hey, what if this happened? Like I always think it'd be awesome to read if Suzanne Collins ever wrote a book where Gale got chosen instead of PETA.
Ooh, I'd read that.
That'd be cool.
Definitely Team
Which
Gale.
yeah,
Forget Peter.
like what would
PETA.
happen? Yeah, what would have happened if Gale had been chosen not by Katniss? I mean, like in the Hunger Games, like Gale's name was called in the Hunger Games.
I wasn't there, so thank you for clarifying. And that'd be awesome.
I don't
I
mean
hope he just
the
dominates.
romantic part, but like I don't think he wouldn't have killed Katniss. Like he would not have killed her. So,
No. Well, no. But
I
I hope he would have gone straight Rambo, and then we have two amazing, beautiful archers out there just murdering everyone instead of PETA, who's just hiding under a rock.
Won. He would have won. Gale would have
Yeah,
won.
exactly. Exactly.
He would have lost his humanity, but he would have won. But yeah,
I guess
so
that's what that is.
Yeah, I do. It's cool. Like I do like the thought exercises, Voldemort Day, and like all that other insane stuff.
So now let's move to the other world, which we get to spend a lot more time in. We go to another world where Harry Potter dies, and basically what happens is Cedric Diggory is so embarrassed at the Triwizard Tournament that again character assassination. I don't know. Maybe Cho
they're
breaks
gonna
up with
embarrass him. That the whole way they embarrass him makes no sense. Like his bubble like threw him out of the water. Well, jump back in the water, dude. Like what are we doing? Like
I don't know. This is like Aunt Marge. She just floats off into space. Like he can't reverse it. No, I don't know why he can't reverse it. Anyways, he becomes so angry that he becomes a Death Eater, kills Neville at the Battle of Hogwarts, and let's not break down why they should have still won the battle. Well, we can spend a little time on that, but anyways, here are all my favorite things from that world. Where then Scorpius comes back, and Malfoy is now the head of law enforcement, and Voldemort rules the world with the Augury, his daughter, as his second in command. Umbridge is the headmaster, and Scorpius basically runs the school. He's the hottest boy in town. Here are some of the funniest things I got out of that, or just the craziest things. One, instead of "oh crap," they say "oh Potter," which made me laugh. Like, "Oh Potter, funny. I got some mudbloods
stepped
blood
in some dog poo, stepped in some hippogriff poo."
Oh, Potter. There's just mudbloods being tortured at Hogwarts, just in the dungeon screaming. That's pretty horrifying. They're having the blood ball coming up, which maybe they murder some people there. Maybe it's just like pure blood. It's just a play on pure blood. I hope there's murder there. I don't actually know.
It's dark.
Yes. They leave every conversation by saying "for Voldemort and Valor," which I think is stupid. Like, can we do better alliteration? Like, there's no Valor. Like, I guess it's fine. I don't know. We can litigate that a little more.
They could have done better.
For Voldemort and I don't know. Anyways, the Battle of Hogwarts is known as Voldemort Day, I think. Or I don't actually know which day Voldemort Day is, but anyway, there is a Voldemort Day. When when Scorpius is trying to find out more about Harry Potter, they're like, Harry Potter was one of those Dumbledore terrorists who were defeated at the Battle of Hogwarts. That Dumbledore terrorist was a hilarious reframing of the other side of the war.
Winners write history.
Yes. And then the last thing we get is that Ron and Hermione are still in hiding. Snape somehow avoided death. Again, we can litigate, like, how did all these things happen? How does Neville's
part
death...
of the underground movement.
Yes, how does Neville's
couldn't
death...
have killed Nagini, so there you go. That's it. That's why...
But then why is Snape alive? Snape dies well before Nagini should die, and it just... A lot of things had to have changed, clearly. But Snape is there, and then he shows him Ron and Hermione, and Ron and Hermione have been in hiding for, like, 27 years, and basically alone, and somehow never got busy and just pretended like they didn't love each other. And to me, that was like the saddest thing of this world. But the rest just made me laugh. And that one was like, you guys were literally alone for 27 years and never just made out. And that's horrible.
Yeah, that's not possible. They would have, like, whatever.
It's not possible.
It's not humanly possible. So there's like there's this you ever watch Justice League, like Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon?
I have watched it a little bit. Yes.
The once and future thing. I think it was like a 3-part episode of like time travel into the future, and Vandal Savage defeated the Justice League. And Vandal Savage is a guy who's like immortal. He can't be killed. So he's like, this is like thousands of years in the future. And he's like basically come back around to where he does have regret. He's like, yeah, I defeated Superman and Batman and Green Lantern, everyone. I ruled the world. And now I'm alone and everything is terrible. And he basically like sends them back to tell them how to fix it and stop it and everything like that. Um, but it like again, a glimpse into alternate realities is interesting.
It's fun.
It is. It's fun. To drop into that, it's fun,
I agree.
you know? Uh, I can't say it's not. I you know, on the whole, it doesn't make sense to tell this story, but it was cool. Like, what would happen if they were, that way? One thing I did that was interesting is that, like, why they still have houses, don't they? Don't they still have, like, Gryffindor and, like, stuff like that?
Did they did they talk about houses? I don't know if they talk about houses
Did
in
they
this
talk
world.
about that?
I feel like they don't. I feel like it's almost certainly all Slytherin. I feel like they don't talk about houses, which
Yeah, because
would
Voldemort laid out his plan. He's like,
yeah,
the
they're just no
noble
sorting hat.
house of
I don't think they talk about houses. I'll double check.
yeah,
Um,
I don't know.
I feel
And
like
then
my go ahead.
Cedric going evil, it doesn't make any sense, like, from what we know about, like, one little thing, he got embarrassed, so, like, he went down a path to, like, become a Death Eater, like
Let's just say like Harry comes out of the tournament and, like he's sad for a little, but then he just like makes out with Cho before he leaves school and like Cedric's just going downhill and, then he just tries to murder people. I don't know.
yeah, it doesn't like, I think you could it just doesn't
Maybe his
that's
dad's
such an
really mean to him. He's like,
none of it
"My
makes any
boy."
sense, like, it's kind of a stupid thing, like, he's such a pure-hearted kid who's, like,
He is.
good and kind and decent, and, like, I you could make, uh, alternate timelines where Harry didn't turn I mean, if you did Harry's life 100 times, some of them he's gonna turn into, like, a obscurus, obscurial and all that stuff, and, like or, like, I don't know, be evil somehow, right? But, like, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
It just seems like
He's
a lot pretty
Two-Face.
far it
He's
just seems
Two-Face.
so far yeah,
He broke the best of us.
I guess. It doesn't feel earned, but, like,
No, it
we're gonna
doesn't.
embarrass him. Wasn't that, like, so childish? Like, we're gonna embarrass him at the second task.
It was stupid. It was stupid.
Like, you're gonna
Um,
embarrass him? Okay.
okay.
Like, and now I don't know. Unintended
Something
consequence, like, well, he got embarrassed, and then he turned evil 3 years later and murdered Neville.
R.I.P. Neville.
Great.
And did nothing else, I guess. Uh, is he still alive in this world? That's what I want to know. But I really enjoyed, though, seeing Severus Snape in this world and
Yes.
seeing how proud he
Absolutely.
was of really, he's like, yeah, dying makes sense. That's really what I expected. And then his quote of like, sometimes you actually end up believing in the thing that, you were fighting for. And I really enjoyed that. And then all of them ready to sacrifice themselves. Hermione,
Yeah.
Ron, Snape.
The
I
Snape
really
thing is
enjoyed
like
that.
the Vandal Savage, like I was talking about. He, like, comes around,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah. I enjoyed like, that was cool. That was cool.
I mean, Ron, do we feel Ron is just hated on too much? So again, like in the normal world, he's, a little chubby and a little balding and he's always eating and really just there for the butt of the joke. I really enjoy when they're all up on the stage and like uniting Hermione and Ron, or sorry, Hermione and Harry and Draco. And then Ron's like, well, if these guys are standing up here, I'm coming up here too, but none of this is my fault. I really thought that was funny. Is is Ron just too much of a butt of a joke? And it's the worst in this world where they keep making the joke of like Hermione's the most wanted woman in the world, and Ron's like, yeah, and me, and they're like, actually, no, no one's looking for you, no one cares about you. Was Ron like hated on a little too much in all of
A
these
little bit,
worlds?
yeah. He ended up on a chocolate frog card in the real version of everything. So, I mean, they do make him the butt of the joke too much, I think.
I don't know. I feel like if there's not
It is funny though.
I feel like I have no problem with it, actually. I think this is exactly where Ron ends up. Ron rises to the occasion, and he does here. He's with his friends. He is the loyal dog that is always there, and I mean loyal dog in a very good way. But
That's why
if
his
there's
Patronus
not
is a terrier.
exactly, but if there's not danger and everyone's just doing their jobs, Ron is ultimately lazy, and he's going to have fun and be the the humor in the room. So I
Like
actually
when we
like
were
where Ron
talking
is.
about where they all ended up, like their jobs and stuff, it'd
Right.
be really hard because in the wizard world, like the idea of like scarcity and like it doesn't like we talked about, it doesn't really make sense how poor the Weasleys are. Like there would be stuff that you can buy and all that, but like also like if you just kind of want to like hang out, it'd be a lot easier to just kind of live your life and like be a beach bum or something as a wizard than it would be a muggle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if you're a wizard, I don't know. Like if you were a wizard in like La Jolla, like like what like why would you do anything? You don't need to. You as long as you've got your housing sorted out, like
Right.
what why do you want a job?
This is like Harry picturing Dumbledore on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like a lot of people, a lot of like the Malfoys are like professionally rich. Like that's their job to be rich and
Yes.
to stay rich, right? A lot of people like they're just like normal, like like they still like have to work and like get stuff, but like I guess to buy something like Quidditch World Cup tickets, but like you know,
Once every 50
I don't
years.
know,
Um, okay.
is what it is.
I'm going to go through again. I feel like what worked for the story doesn't work at all, but I do think just ignoring the story and focusing on the emotion or the fun that we get to have. We talked about a bit of the fun. I'm going to talk about a couple of the emotional things that I really liked. Um, I didn't really love the interactions with Dumbledore's portrait. McGonagall was right. Like, stop talking to him, Harry. Like, he's not
Yeah, I
Dumbledore.
don't.
But I
Yeah,
really did like them talking about Dumbledore saying, like, the truth is both great and terrible. That's what Dumbledore taught me. And she's like, that's a Jenny's like, funny thing to say to a young boy. He's like, yeah, but it's something you say to a boy who has to die to save the world. And I
that
thought
was
that
a good
was like
line. That was a very good line.
I'm not sure I put that into the context of like, yeah, when I read the first book, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm thinking about just a good way to not say, hey, you're not ready. But no,
Hmm.
like that is what you say to a boy who you're going to lie to for the next 6 years, even though you give him some truth. You never give it all to him because he has to die. I don't know. I thought that
Yeah,
was
that was a
powerful.
good. That was powerful. That's what I said. There's seeds of good stuff in here. It's just wrapped in turds.
Okay. We already hit that I just think it's horrifying and really put into context. Like, of course, they believe that some remnant of Voldemort could be around, to your point. His ideas. We already
Yeah,
talked about how horrible Harry is to McGonagall and Draco. Uh, Again, we get some more Ginny. We don't get enough Ginny in this story, but we get, it's about the same percentage as we get in the books. And both Draco and Ginny both talk about how they were jealous of Harry and his relationship with Hermione and Ron, which again I thought was really cool. And we already know that Draco's like super jealous of Harry. I feel like the only time we hear
yeah.
Draco talking like in his own little world is in the second
Potter.
book.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, like, and he's jealous of both of them, Hermione and Harry, and maybe he's jealous of Ron because he doesn't have to be alone in a giant mansion all day. Maybe he wants some brothers. But I thought that was really cool, and you do see it like they do bring that up in the 7 books where, like, Harry, starts to realize, like, "Oh, I spend a lot of time with Ginny at, at the Burrow, but not at Hogwarts," or, like, when they get on the Hogwarts Express, they're like, "Go away, Ginny," and then Ginny just goes away, and we don't really see her for the rest of the book, and, you know, that was
she
sad
is.
for Ginny, I'm sure.
Yeah, but Ginny eventually was like super popular and the hot girl everyone wanted to date. So, like,
Yeah,
I
being the
I
hot
thought
girl
that
everyone
was
wants to date
interesting.
and having 2 best friends is different.
I know. I thought that was kind of like I get it makes sense more sense from Draco's perspective. Like he was
Crab and Goyle.
right. Like and like he hated Harry, but he hated Harry because he was a bad guy who believed bad things and a total bigot and like wanted the bad and he was mad that Harry overthrew the world order that he desired temporarily. Right? Like that's why Draco hated Harry because he was raised to hate Harry and yes, he was jealous of attention and things like that. So it made more sense. I don't really understand like why Ginny would be jealous of like having two best friends. They're friends. Everyone, like, what do you think? Ginny didn't have friends?
Yeah, she had friends who liked her for her voluptuous dresses, and she wanted something a little deeper.
Why wouldn't she have friends? Like, what?
She
It doesn't
had
make
friends.
sense. Why wouldn't she have best friend? Like, why?
Okay, because of this next line, because of the next line of Ginny, she's been possessed. Nobody wants to talk to her. She has the taint of Voldemort on her. And then you know what our hero does, Harry Potter? He goes over and plays some exploding snap with her. And it's basically Michael Jordan dapping up Magic Johnson. And everyone's like, AIDS are okay. And Voldemort possessing people is okay. It's basically the same thing. So
yeah, there you go.
Maybe that's why she didn't have a lot of friends. Okay, William? People were scared of the Voldy. You didn't like either of those. I enjoyed both of those because I have a heart and you're too crusty.
I got the Draco one. That one makes sense. Like I said, I don't quibble with it. But
you didn't get the Draco one. He's evil.
Draco sucks. What do you?
I know. I'm just saying you didn't get it. I'm just saying, why are you saying you get it? You didn't get it. Like,
I feel like I got it. It makes sense. He's jealous of Harry. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Last one is, when we revisit the first True Triwizard task, it's really dumb and doesn't make any sense. But I did enjoy revisiting the third one. Well, I hated one thing about it. The one thing I hated about it is that they used the hedges from the movie where the hedges are trying to kill you, which is not a thing in the book. Like, they're just hedges.
We just watched that last night, and they were like, my son was like, what is happening?
Yes, I hate that. That wasn't the point of the obstacle. There were actually cool magical creatures in there. Actually horrifying. And like, why did they give Hagrid so much authority here? Hagrid did the entire third task himself, and it's insane. That's a different subject. Anyways,
yeah,
I enjoyed seeing Cedric in the maze, and I was emotional as Albus and Scorpius basically had to let him. It was the precursor, them letting Cedric die, and then Harry having to watch his family get murdered.
That was a good.
I thought it was powerful.
I wouldn't call it powerful. I would call it good.
Powerful for the soft-minded and weak-hearted like myself.
I just can't divorce. I don't know. If I could distill this into one thing, I'm glad this exists because it expands Harry Potter to more people. So people see it on the play and they buy more stuff and they keep staying interested in Harry Potter. I'm glad they made it. I have no regrets they made it, even if I think it's objectively dumb. But I'm glad they made it, and I can't wait to see it one day.
Okay, that wasn't a reaction to what I said at all, but I like where
it was a good part. Yes, it was like anyone who has to like watch something like and let it go to let it die. Like that's powerful. It is like you can't intervene. Got to let it happen.
I was emotional during both of those scenes. We've covered almost everything. I wrote down just random rapid fire, and there's only a couple that we haven't hit. One is, I think Scorpius is actually pretty hilarious, and some of the things he says are so dumb. And the one I wrote down was like, Rose, what do you smell of? And, he just has a lot of awkward introductions. I enjoyed most of them.
His obsession with Rose is pretty funny.
I agree.
He's definitely into her. Although they changed that, obviously, later on. But
yeah, I mean, again, in what I read, they're both very interested in girls the whole time. But I don't know. Then, what did you think of the riddles in the bookshelf? I thought they were weaker than kind of the other riddles that we've had throughout Harry Potter, and I don't know if I enjoyed them as much.
I mean, I enjoyed it just because it was like a throwback to like the something you've seen several times over in the books. Like riddles are so hard. Like I'm like, how do you even create those? Like so, like I thought it was good. It was cool that they created them, right? But like when you're reading through like the fourth book and you're like, how do you come up with a poem about spy? Like how do you come up with that? Like. I don't know. So I enjoyed that just because it's a good throwback to like, different parts of the books. But
the only one I felt comfortable with. No, I agree. The only one I could get like just quickly without like pausing the book was like, this is the fourth, a disappointing mark. You'll find it in parked, but not in park. Because they've used that before where, the end of end, the middle of middle. Like that I can find like, okay, we've got duh. But the second is the less fair of those that walk on two legs, grubby, hairy, a disease of the egg. I was not going for men. I was like trolls and giants, and I wasn't close to men. And I think it's offensive to call men a disease of the egg. So I don't know. Maybe I don't actually get that riddle, but I thought it was offensive. So
it's
manpower. And the final one, and the third is both a mountain to climb and a route to take, a turn in the city, a glide through a lake. I don't know. Like, you didn't actually need the S. Like, you already have Dementor. I guess it's Tor. Tor is the word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get Tor out of that at all. So I would have died in that bookshelf. It would have eaten me alive, and I guess Hermione would find me just dead in her bookshelf.
Yes, that would. I would not survive that. And if I was Harry in the maze with the Sphinx, I would have not tried. I would have just backed away. I'd be like, I'm way too stressed out. I can't handle this. I'm going to go find a different path. Well, we would rather fight a Scroot than answer your riddle.
We would have never gotten to because I don't know if British people actually say when they can't think of something, but we say
yeah, it's weird, like, because like different cultures like take different sounds, and like to them, sounds like but like in their accent, wrong. I guess it does sound like that. Spider.
Keep
going. Spider. Yeah, I could see it. But it wouldn't make sense in our brains.
No. It was clearly a British Sphinx, so I had no chance. I didn't enjoy the second riddle. I thought was easier just because it says Gaunt and Riddle, and I was like, well, I know that's Tom Riddle, Voldemort, so find me a book on Voldemort. I was born in a cage, but smashed it with rage. The Gaunt inside me riddled me free of that which would stop me to be me. I don't actually totally get that, but again, I get Gaunt and Riddle, so the last one about a shadow. Anyways, I thought those were fun. Not as fun. I thought that Moaning Myrtle, hilarious. And again, another phrase we had, like
Elizabeth Warren too. Wasn't that her? That's her name, Myrtle Elizabeth Warren. Isn't that?
Oh yeah, where she gives her full name.
Yeah. Do you think that had anything to do with like the politician? Like what? Like what? Like I don't know. That was all I thought of. I was just like,
Jack Thorne. And I wanted to ask this. When they're deciding to pretend to be Voldemort so they could trick Voldemort's daughter, they're all pretty scared about that. Or like, you could be Voldemort forever. Like, I'm the only one who can handle this, is what Harry says. Like, can you actually get like stuck in Transfiguration? Is that a real fear? Like, I feel like that's never been brought up.
Magic gone wrong, I guess. But like, it seems pretty basic to like disguise yourself. I don't think it doesn't seem like a high risk activity. Right?
I feel like they tried to make it act like it was, and I wasn't buying it. I was like, Hermione has been doing this since she was 16 years old, and I'm not that worried.
That didn't make sense because like obviously like magic goes wrong all the time and people have permanent disfigurements and stuff. But this seemed pretty run of the mill to like you didn't have to make a Horcrux to turn into him. You just changed your fate, with magic.
I'm saying. Wasn't that scary to me?
Pretty run of the mill. What did you think of like Cedric saving them in the maze?
I really enjoyed that. Like I said,
that's
the beginning of the emotion that you didn't care about. But yes, I enjoyed all of that very much. Very much. Okay. Like plot-wise, okay. Again, like we're talking about time travel. We're talking about bringing back your villain. Like there's a lot of stupid things. There was only 2 parts where I actually am like, this doesn't make sense, regardless of the time travel, regardless of anything else. One is why Albus actually listens to Harry and stays away from Scorpius. Like I don't understand why he just stops hanging out with him. And he's like, no, my dad said I can't. I was like, since when do you listen to your dad? Like you literally jumped off a train.
Your dad's 1,000 miles away.
I was very confused by why he actually like spurned Scorpius. That was very confusing. Then what made even less sense to me was when Delphi drops them in the day before Halloween and then just runs away and doesn't murder them right there. Why did she let them live? Avada Kedavra, I win. It's over. Like, what was she doing? Why did she kill them?
Because then there'd be no play.
Because then there would be no play. Again,
That's the only real reason.
I'm moving past the time travel. I'm moving past, exploding pumpkin pasties. I don't know how to say that word. Delphi should have killed them. Pasties. She should have killed them. It made no sense. She ran away from them and hid. She should have killed them. So, anyways, William, that is basically all of my thoughts on The Cursed Child. I enjoyed it. I look forward to reading it again someday and seeing it in London with you. Maybe I'll see it in New York. I don't know. It is a lot closer. I had a chance. It came to Raleigh, and I was like, I don't think I want to see it in Raleigh. Like, I hope you see it in Houston, but I was just like, I don't want the Raleigh version of this. I want the top dog. So one day we'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want, look, I want to see it, and I'm glad they made it. The story is dumb, but I'm glad they did it. So, if that makes sense, if the 3 listeners care, that's how I feel.
Should we do a pod sometime that just breaks down how the Battle of Hogwarts must have gone for any of this to make sense, for Harry to die just because Neville died? I don't think it's possible, but there's just like 12 different things that
he would have had to kill Neville like way before or something.
Is Snape is
Cedric being a Death Eater is so stupid that like I don't even know like why we're even.
I feel like the Elder Wand, does any of that stuff happen with the Elder Wand? Does Voldemort believe that Snape has it? Does Harry actually become the master of it? If so, how does Snape live? If so, how does Voldemort
Harry would have been
Harry?
The master from when he disarmed.
But did that
Draco
happen? That's the question. Did that happen? And is Draco the one who disarmed Dumbledore? Did all these things happen?
Yeah, I guess like the whole point is like the butterfly effect of like Cedric being embarrassed, heaven forbid, sent him down a path of iniquity. And that one thing made a bunch of other things not happen. So you can
what I did think about
with that.
I know. What I did think about was that the biggest proof that Voldemort was back was that Cedric was dead. Like, that's his number one defense. Is like, so by your account, Cedric Diggory just dropped dead? That's the biggest proof. And he would have come back with no proof. And I feel like it would have been so much worse. Well, he would have not had the guilt of Cedric dying, which was pretty horrible for him. But I feel like he'd have been ridiculed even more. Like, he would have had no support by anybody. Like, Harry just comes back and just starts screaming, I guess, that Voldemort's back. There's no dead body. There's no anything for anyone to react to. It's just like, Harry's back. And he looks a little worse. And now Harry and Dumbledore are talking. Like, it would have been drastically different.
Very much so. Also, one thing that like, I would reconcile this, like, Wormtail killed Cedric, not Voldemort.
Kill the spare. Yeah, this is true.
Voldemort's orders. Dumbledore says later on he was killed by Voldemort, but I don't know. More reasons that Wormtail is so bad,
worthy of death,
for
children
sure.
Murdering. Agreed.
Legally, Cedric would have been an adult, technically.
That's a good point. So less bad. Hopefully, he didn't kill any kids hopefully, he didn't kill any kids in the Muggle neighborhood.
So by the way, Wormtail's death count is very high.
True.
Direct and indirect.
Mass murderer, Sirius Black. I mean, Peter never really gets that rap, It's a little disappointing for him. No one ever says mass murderer Peter Pettigrew. Anyways, now we're rambling. William, I had a blast. Next week, we're coming back. Fun. Next week, we're coming back again with Barry and Hunter, and we're going to do another draft. And this time, we're going to do a draft of things we want to see adapted to a screen. What should HBO do next? We're going to do a great draft of that, and it's going to be amazing. William, I need to let you know our Fantastic Beasts draft is doing so horrible on social media. It is hilarious.
What?
It won't even get picked up in the algorithm. It's like 300 views, and then the next video will be at 4,000. So pretty embarrassing. I think it was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
I'll do the next one shirtless. That'll bring in the viewers.
Good call. I like that. I guess it's hard to set the context in like a 1 minute video of what we're trying to do here, but we'll see if the full YouTube video gets some more love. All right, William, you got anything else?
Nada.
After we do
they made this, even though I don't like it.
After we do the HBO show draft, we're coming with a very special edition of a March Madness episode, which I think we're all going to enjoy with a new guest, our first international guest. So I'll just leave it at that. It'll be exciting.
Yeah,
we're getting oldie.
I'll give you a hint. They no longer run the world of hockey.
Got that right. We're bringing on a silver medalist.
Not this country. Yep. It's
not super international, I guess. All right, William. A solid minute 20. So I love you. Have
not
bloods.
bad.
Till next week. Deuces.
Peace.